Hello, wise students. Welcome to today's lesson. On civic education this morning, we are going to be looking at um, the electoral bodies. It's a continuation of our last week topic anyway, electoral bodies in Nigeria. Okay, subtopic, need for free and fair election. Our set objectives at the end of this lesson, you all should be able to explain the concept of free and fair election. State the characteristics of free and fair election. List the importance of free and fair election in Nigeria. Alright, who can define electoral bodies for us? Okay, you can remember that last week we defined electoral bodies and we also list types of electoral bodies. We also went ahead to state the functions of electoral bodies. So today let's look at a free and fair election in Nigeria. Election, as you all know, is one of the features of democracy. And you know, for elections to express the will of the electorate, there must be what? Free and fair. So free and fair election is that which the choice of the electorate reflects in the final result. Elections are considered free and fair if the electorate are allowed to exercise their franchise and also the political will are expressed. You know, in Nigeria, once you are at the age of 18, you are entitled to vote. So once it's time for election, it is expected that you go out and exercise your franchise. You go out and cast your vote. Do you understand? Free and fair election also means that all registered political parties have an equal right to contest for election, campaign for voter, and hold meetings and even rallies. They have rights to do whatever they want with their political groups. Is that taken? Now let's go ahead to look at characteristics of uh, free and fair election. Election and other political processes are very important to the quality of any country's governance and can either greatly advance or bring setback to a country's long-term democratic development. So here are some of the characteristics. 1. Election should be transparent, inclusive, and accountable. There must be equitable opportunities to compete in the election. Electoral regulations, that is, the code of conduct for elections, must be acceptable by all sides of electoral interaction. It must guarantee political freedom. Also, there must be absence of political violence and so many other characteristics that you can think of. Now, let's look at the importance of free and fair election. The following are some of the importance. 1, you have free and fair elections increase the livelihood of a peaceful transfer of power. They help to ensure that losing candidates will accept the validity of the election's results and concede power to the new government. You know, in some cases, whoever that loses election will not want to accept it. He or she will want to take it to court and fight that there is election malpractice. So in a free and fair atmosphere, there should be a process whereby the losing candidates will be able to concede defeat to allow the winning team to go into government and rule. Do you understand? Also, free and fair election, it also allows people living in a representative democracy to determine the political makeup and future policy direction of their nation's government. Is that taken? Now, with all of that being said, who can briefly explain the concept of free and fair election? All right, any question? Okay, before we go, I told you that free and fair election is that which the choice of the electorate reflects in the final result. And election is also considered free and fair if the electorate are allowed to exercise their franchise and if political parties have equal rights to contest for election. We also talk about characteristics of free and fair election, where I told you that it must be transparent, inclusive, accountable, and there must be equitable opportunities to compete in the election, and so many others. We also talk about the importance, where I told you that free and fair elections increase the livelihood of a peaceful transfer of power. It also helps to ensure that the losing candidate will accept the validity of the election's results and concede power to the new government. Is that clear? All right, here is your assignment. You are to state the effects of election malpractice in Nigeria electoral system. State the effects of election malpractice in the Nigerian electoral system. Thank you and have a lovely day reading your books.